The Eagles are Super Bowl champions. Last night had to have been one of the best nights in my life so far as the Eagles won another Super Bowl. We finally got the job done. And dude, I have so much to say, but I am so excited. As you can see, it was a complete obliteration. The Chiefs never really had a chance at all. And as you can see, we nearly shut them out for three full quarters of a Super Bowl, which is insane to me. This Vic Fangio defensive unit has been one of the best in history. And this might be the best Eagles team we've ever seen. And yeah, I mean, I will give the Chiefs props. I think Mahomes is a great player overall, and he tried his best. He did his best. He had two costly interceptions. The decision making wasn't really there. We got to him a lot, and he had to make quick decisions and try to get the ball down the field to the best of his ability. Also, not to mention, he did three passing touchdowns and 257 yards. It's not like he played bad. It just wasn't enough to counter Jalen Hurts and the Eagles' efforts to win their Super Bowl because this was their game and everyone was doubting them. But they showed Philly and they showed the world what they're made of. And this could be a trend for years to come because I think the Eagles have what it takes to go on a generational run. But I mean, just to look at the overall team game, total yards we outdid them by about 80 yards. Passing yards they had a little bit more than us, but that's okay because they had those two big plays towards the end of the game. Rushing yards we were all over them. Yards per play, which I found a little interesting, they had 5.6 against 4.9, which they actually were a little better. Third down efficiency was pretty shit for both teams. We did have way more first downs than them. Fourth down efficiency, both teams were 0 for 1. Total plays, we obviously controlled the game. Sacks allowed, punts. I mean, for the most part, the Eagles were in control of the game, but it was mostly because of their defense, which is why we don't have a ton of yards to show for it offensively, but it's because the defense set us up for success. But just a quick go over of how both teams played. I think Mahomes, once again, I'll say again, he had a very good game, in my opinion, considering what the circumstances were going into the fourth quarter. He rallied, and I honestly think if there was like 10 more minutes on the clock, the Eagles might have lost this game just because Mahomes got hot at the wrong time. Um, but yeah, the Chiefs' run game was nowhere to be found. Only 11 total rushes, and 4 of them were with Mahomes. That is pretty bad. I guess that they studied the film and they knew that running wasn't really going to be an option this week because Mahomes threw the ball for 32 times. Um, Xavier Worthy all over us, insane. He had two pretty big plays, and he's just a dog. One of their best draft picks that they've kind of nailed over the past few years. The Chiefs really value their late round picks and seemingly nail every single one of them. George Karlaftis, Trent McDuffie, Xavier Worthy, just to name a few. But they've gotten their guys when it's mattered most, and Xavier Worthy is going to be a stud for years to come. However, Travis Kelce, I bet you he had that ring in his back pocket because he was not playing like he was about to propose. Because dude was not doing what he does normally in the playoffs. 4 receptions for 39 yards. You could tell he was a little shaken up by his performance, and we'll have to see what comes next for him in the future. Will I do I think he should retire? Yes. Will I think he retires? No. That's kind of how I think about this. But yeah, other than that, nobody else really did much. D Hop had a touchdown, but had some costly drops, and the defense for the Chiefs was nowhere to be found for the most part. They had 2 sacks, 1 interception off a dumb Jalen Hurts chuck up, but other than that, nothing really impressive for them. They let the Eagles score 40 points on them. Although I will say they weren't really put in the best positions due to the offensive struggles early on by the Chiefs. Now the highlight of the highlight of the year is that the Eagles won the Super Bowl. That is 2 for the Eagles as they lost in 2023. But dude, what a redemption tour for Jalen Hurts. What a way to put the NFL, put them on notice for what's to come in the next few years because this guy's a baller and I don't know how people thought that he wasn't going to be good. I'm going to put Colin Coward's the Cowards graphic up here just to show how shitty NFL people think of him as they ranked him as the worst divisional round QB left. So out of 8 QBs that were there, they ranked him as the worst one, which I really don't understand. As you had guys like CJ Stroud there who had one of the worst seasons, one of the worst second seasons I've seen in my lifetime. That was really bad, but somehow people still want to hate on the Eagles and especially Jalen Hurts, but he shut them up in this game, and it still doesn't set in for me that we won. Like it really still doesn't set in. But the way Hurts was so composed, and he had that deep ball to Smitty, he was really like he was locked. He wanted this more than anybody else on that field, and he knew that it was going to be his if he played his heart out, and that's exactly what he did. Although I will say Saquon Barkley, on the other hand, didn't really have his best showing, but it's okay considering what he's done this whole entire year. I wasn't really expecting him to necessarily have the best game. Chiefs have a decent front. Karlaftis is good on the edge. Uh, Chris Jones obviously is one of the best defensive tackles in the league, even though he's old. We'll see how long that lasts. But yeah, Saquon really couldn't get going. The run game couldn't really get going, other than Hurts, who I will praise until I lose my voice. This dude had a phenomenal game. Those two huge runs in the third quarter just pretty much sealed the game. Averaged 6.5 yards a carry. I mean, the most by anyone that had a rushing attempt. Beautiful, beautiful performance by him. Going into the receiving, it was a team effort all along. Saquon Barkley got going a little bit there with 6 receptions for 40 yards. But Devontae Smith leading the charge, 4 receptions, 69 yards, and a touchdown. A.J. Brown also had a touchdown and a pair of catches for 43 yards. Goddard got involved. Jahan Dotson got involved. Everyone got involved. It was literally the definition of there's no I in team. Everyone was doing what they wanted to do. Now, the defense is where I will never, never stop talking about because we were bottom 10 in nearly every category going into last year. Howie Roseman decided he's going to blow this thing up, take a chance at a special teams guy in Zach Bond, who came up big last night with an interception, an acrobatic play by him as well. We got to pay him this offseason, give him however much he wants because he is the future of this team for at least, give him like a 2 year, I would say 2 year, 26 mil is appropriate. 13 mil a year for him is wonderful, considering we signed him for the minimum this year. I didn't even know who he was until he got on our team, and this dude started going off. Oren Burks also didn't really do much last night, but this playoff to get us here, he has stepped up big in Kobe Dean's absence. But the main event, Josh Sweat and Milton Williams, both with 2+ sacks apiece. Josh Sweat, amen. Goodbye, brother. I know you will not be resigning here with us because we are not going to give you the money that you want. But thank you for leaving it all out there for us and getting us that Super Bowl and doing everything that we asked you to do. 10 sacks in total on the season from him, including the playoffs. That's how you do it right there. And Milton Williams, we need to re-sign him. Him and Bond got to be on the top of the list for Howie Roseman. They better be papers filing on that desk right there. And I'm heated. I'm not heated, but I'm fired up because I'm just so happy. Cooper DeJean and Kenyon Mitchell. Cooper DeJean, that pick six, dude. Amen. Thank you so much. You literally saved us that game. At the start of that game, I didn't know who was going to win. I thought it was going to be a complete nail biter, a shootout till the end. But you helped us get that 17-0 lead going into the half. That when we ended up scoring another touchdown. But dude played his heart out. And honestly, when I look at this Eagles team, Jalen Carter didn't really do much last night, but it's okay because he had himself a great, great playoff. When I look at this team, I only see potential. Other than Brandon Graham, who is a little bit on the older side, I don't think there's anyone on this Eagles team that is over 30. I could be I could be completely wrong, other than Big Play Slay, I guess, and James Bradbury if he comes back. But give Big Play Slay one more year. Either way, he's still a decent defender. I don't think he'll get much worse. Kenyon and Cooper DeJean are going to be great for years to come. This Eagles defense, Vic Fangio, whatever he did, whatever he took, whatever he inhaled before the games, dude, keep it going, bro. I don't even care. You're 66, 38 years of coaching. You won your first Super Bowl. I'm proud of you, dog. Yeah, and just the last thing that we're going to look at here to cap off this a beautiful season that the Eagles put together is the free agents. Here we have the unrestricted free agents, we have the restricted free agents, then we have the exclusive rights free agents. So yeah, a pretty lengthy list of people, but no one too seriously other than the main guys that we've already addressed. Guys like Zach Bond obviously are pretty notable. Josh Sweat, Mekhi Becton, and I would say Milton Williams are probably going to be at the top of the Eagles list going into the offseason. Personally, like I said, I don't really think we have a chance of signing Josh Sweat. It just doesn't really set in for me that we have a chance. I think he's going to get a lot of money elsewhere, and that's good for him because I really do think he played his best game when it mattered most, so I'm happy for him. Brandon Graham, I do think he's going to retire. If he doesn't, I said we bring him back on a 1 year minimum vet deal, which makes the most sense. Zach Bond obviously is going to get a shit ton of money. He's probably going to test the market. Hopefully, Howie Roseman's going to make him an offer that he can't refuse, and that's going to really work to be team friendly, but also player friendly, and we'll get our star linebacker back. Mekhi Becton as well. I think we can get him like a 4 year because he's in length for a long term deal. He's only 26 years old, and the Eagles made him look like he's a top 10 guard in the league. But I think that he was one of the highest rated PFF guards So I think we could get him 4 years. 20 to 30 million is appropriate for him. I don't think he makes anywhere over 10 mil. If he does, he is not signing with the Eagles. And then the rest of the guys like Monte Maddox, CJ Uzoma, maybe team friendly minimum offers. Milton Williams as well. I think we need to give him 5 to 10 million dollars because this dude put together an amazing campaign and he's only getting better. And other than that, it's more just depth. Oren Burks maybe on a minimum, and Isaiah Rogers I think I'd like to bring back. Kenny G would be nice to bring back, but Will Shipley's looking nice. So yeah, those are really the main guys I want to bring back. The obvious is, and the restricted free agents, Burton Covey, Ben Van Sumer, and those guys don't really matter as much. But I assume that they'll try to bring Covey back just because he's a decent punt returner. If not, it'll be Coop DeJean. But yeah, well, thank you guys so much for watching. The Eagles finally got the job done, and now I can remain calm until the Eagles kick off football again, starting this August. But yeah, we will be tracking the offseason on the channel, and you can expect a lot more, probably March Madness NBA videos, and the Phillies are starting soon. So I'm really going to try to get everything in on the channel. But here are my shout outs for the last, I put up a short, go check that out. I said comment this below and you guys will get a shout out in the next video as we're trying to boost the channel. So here's the shout out, people. Thank you guys so much. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Of course, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you are new. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.